And welcome back, and it is the 7th of April, higher plus 5 a day, and let's just go straight to the first question. Now, before I start, the last few days have definitely been both a mix of different questions and frankly just a bit tougher. So if you haven't, go back, check those out as well. But first of all, let's get through today. Right, I can the reason we do this, sorry to not even start the question yet. The reason we do this is because of things like this. I know without even reading the rest of the question, this is going to be a similar shapes question because I can see the word two clay models and I know where it's going. This is why we do lots of practice, because you just get second nature. You kind of know where it's going. That said, let's actually read the question and see what's happening. So two models of the Statue of Liberty are mathematically similar. There's the key word there, similar. The smaller model, so we're going to do the small model and the larger model, call it small and larger. Then I've got my length scale factor, my area scale factor, my volume scale factor. The smaller model has a height of 15. I'm basically going to fill in as much of the table as I can. The larger model has a height of 20. So that means my scale factor is times 20 over 15, which is the same as times, divide by 5, 4 over 3, which means my area scale factor is 16 over 9, and my volume scale factor is cube of that, which is 64 over 27. Let's read the rest. The larger model has a height of 20, no, I've done that. The smaller model weighs 108. Now, I'm going to need to convince you of this. I've written down a mass for volume, but let's remember that density equals mass over volume, which means that mass is equal to density times volume. In other words, it's just volume times by a fixed number. So I can basically substitute mass for volume when I'm doing these calculations. So when it says work out the mass of the larger model, without having to do a whole density thing, I can just take the mass, assume the mass scales in the same way, multiply it by 64 over 127, calculator out, so 108 times 64 over 27. Oh, it's a nice round number, of course it is. And that gives me 256 grams. Good, slightly different, but good question. Next question. Okay, having been a bit more problemy, this is a straightforward one, isn't it? So can you just complete the square? So let's complete the square. So x minus half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9, so I'm going to take that away because I don't need it. Then I'm going to add back the 17, which gives me x minus 3 all squared minus 9 plus 17 is 8. So x minus 3 all squared plus 8. Question done. Nice, quick question. Next question, sketch. Now, whilst it says sketch, you need to be showing various points. So I'm going to start by just drawing cos x. 90, 180, 270, 360. Always draw those points. Then you recognise that cos x goes from 1 down to minus 1, back through 0 and back to 1 again. So therefore the minus is going to make all the minuses plus and all the pluses minuses, which means basically I'm just going to draw this upside down. Now, let me draw it and then I'll talk about it. Things to note, I do need to make sure I'm showing clearly the 180, 270, 360, the 1 and minus 1 and 0. And I need to make sure this is a smooth curve, not some jagged straight lines. And that's it, happy with that one. Final question. Gone quite quickly today, relatively, so let's see what this last one is. Solve. Okay. Now, you don't need to draw the sketch, but I'm going to draw it quickly anyway. So I've got a circle, it's got a radius 6. I've got a line here which I'm going to rearrange as x is equal to 2y plus 6, which means I have a line which will cross. Actually, if I do it a different way, then you'll recognise it. So y equals a half x minus 3, which means it's a line that does something like this. And basically I want to know the 2 points that it crosses. Now, I'm going to take this and put this into here, which is going to give me 2y plus 6 squared plus y squared is equal to 36. Worthwhile being clear what I've done there. I didn't like the half x, so I multiplied by 2, which allows me to put it into there. Expand this first one, it's going to give me 4y squared. 6 times 2 is 12, double is 24. 6 times 6 is 36. Y squared is y squared, and that's 36. Now, I can see my 36's cancel. Collect my y squared, so that's going to give me 5y squared plus 24y is equal to 0, which means that 5y plus 24 is equal to 0, which means either that y is equal to 0, this bit here, or y is equal to minus 24 over 5. Wow, okay. Now, I'm then going to use delete some of these x's here. I'm then going to use this equation here to work out what my x values are. So if y equals 0, x is equal to 2 times 0 is 0 plus 6, which is 6, which means my first answer, I'm going to write them here, is going to be 6, 0. So that's my first answer. If y equals minus 24 over 5, then x is equal to 2 times that, which is minus 48 over 5. And then add back 6, which is the same as 30 over 5, which gives me minus 18 over 5. So therefore my other point is minus 18 over 5 against minus 24 over 5. Wow, not a nice question, but not too bad. Again, good mix of questions, very different to what we've seen over the last few days. Do let me know how it went for you. Like, subscribe. See you tomorrow. Thanks all.